Hello, this is a demo about Oracle to Sybase Adaptive Server Enterprise conversion using Aspire tools. The main core tool that Aspire system provides for doing the migration from database to database in scripts or using ODBC connection to the database is called SQLWays. This is a command line tool that can be run in batch mode, and there are three main graphical interfaces that were built for user convenience in doing the migration process using ODBC connection to the source database or using scripts as a source for migration from Oracle to Sybase Enterprise version. So first let me show you a SQLWays wizard that you can see on your screen. This tool is provided for doing the migration using connection to the database. All you have is to provide the ODBC connection to Oracle database and target database credentials for doing the import into Sybase database, and this tool will guide you through the migration process from Oracle to Sybase for DDL definitions and data conversion in the whole. So first, when you start SQLWays wizard, you tap into SQLWays. Welcome to the SQLWays wizard page. Here I would like to mention just one option. It's called select a project directory or create a new project. This option lets you specify the location of a project files and option files for current migration you are doing using SQLWays. These files will contain all the options that you will specify during the conversion and the information about the objects you've chosen for conversion, the data type mappings, identifier mappings, and etc. So I've got one specified here. Let's click next. When you choose a source database page, you need to provide the information about the ODBC connection, the user or system DSN, or file DSN name for Oracle as a source, and the username and password for a connection to Oracle database. Please make a note that user must have enough privileges for doing export from system views and system tables from Oracle database, because our tool uses additional select statements for extracting the information, additional information about objects, about defaults, about columns, their data types, about definitions of storage procedures, packages, and etc. The DBA privileges might be required here. Okay, let's click next. On the choose a target database page, you need to specify the target as Sybase Adaptive Server Enterprise, the server where the Sybase, this is actually the host name for a Sybase server, the database where you're going to load the data and definitions, the username and password. Also, for Sybase as a target, it is required to specify a bin directory, which contains, which is actually the location for native tools for Sybase Enterprise version. These are iSQL tool and BCP tool for doing the definition and data loading into Sybase database. So we can go next. On the specified database objects or query page, you can see the provided list of objects you have. They are specified in tree view. So each schema in Oracle database contains their objects. The objects are separated into object types in a tree view. So you can select any of them. You can use a filter for specifying the exact match for maybe some specific schema conversion you would like to make. So you can provide this schema here, like for example this one, and you can see all the objects were sorted, like all the schema names start with ORRA for each object type. We can remove this filter by just clicking it and clicking remove. So you can see all the objects are available now again. So as I'm using the project directory, you can see all the choices that I've specified while preparing to this demo. They are all provided for me, so I don't have to choose all the objects once again. And you can see I'm going to show you the way how it will handle the conversion for tables, use stored procedures, functions, triggers, packages, and sequences. These are the most common things that are being converted from Oracle to Sybase database. As for user accounts, currently this conversion is not supported for Sybase as a target, but actually we support such conversion for other directions. So there shouldn't be any problem in adding user accounts conversion from Oracle to Sybase. And also, as a result, all object level privileges that these accounts have in SOAR database. Let's click next. On the specify DDL and data options page, there are lots of options actually that you can specify for doing the conversion from Oracle to Sybase. I would like just to mention a few of them, like omit schema names in SQL scripts, which controls the way the schema name is converted from Oracle to Sybase. I'm removing all schema names. I'm doing the import into a default schema in Sybase database. You can control the way the reserved words are converted. As a default, all reserved words are enclosed in double quotes in Sybase when doing the conversion from Oracle. There are also options that helps you handling the data type mapping. There is a global data type mapping that you can see here. You can change the values, the target values for data type conversion. There are also local data type mappings, which you can find by clicking any of the tables and DDL options on the right. And you can see a local data type mapping for exact column in some specific table, so you can change it as well. Local data type mapping has higher priorities than global data type mapping. And finally, I would like to show you two more options that control the way the data and definitions are extracted. So using SQLWays, you can separate these two processes. So first of all, you can uncheck generate DDL. In this case, only data is converted from source to target database. Or if you would like to convert only DDL, only definitions of tables, just go to data options tab and uncheck export data. So in this case, only definitions of tables will be converted from source to target. Okay, there are lots of other options actually. If you have a need in some specific option, just let us know. We can tell you whether we have such feature or we need some time to add it to our tool. On the specify export file options page, you need to specify the export directory, which is used as an intermediate folder for storing the results of the conversion for their subsequent loading into Sybase database, because actually SQLWays generates a set of scripts with native tools, commands to load the definitions and data into target database. So all these files are stored here in the export directory for the purpose of loading to Sybase. There is option run in trace mode that works in the way like in addition to generating a SQLWays trace file that helps in resolving different export problems. It can generate the commented source of the object and enclose it into the same file with the conversion of this object. So because for each object SQLWays generates one SQL file, separate SQL file, and there inside you will see the commented source and its equivalent provided by SQLWays. Let's click next. On the specify import options page, you can specify, you have actually two options for doing the import into target database. First is when you have native tools and the Sybase client installed on your current computer, so you can just export all the information from Oracle database, convert it into one process and load it into Sybase database no matter where it is installed in the network, because you have native tools and client installed on your current computer. The second option is when you don't have client installed on current computer but have it somewhere on other computer. So you can use the second option, specify the system on which your client is installed, and the appropriate files will be generated for this import. Whether they are, if there are for Windows, then the batch files are created. If Unix, then shell scripts are created for doing the load into target database. I have a client installed in my computer, so I'm using the first option, and I'm using start and import automatically option. This means that right after the export I can run the import into the target database. Okay, let's click next and see the export process. Okay, you can see that the conversion process has started. So our tool extracts all the objects one by one and makes a export of them and conversion at the same time into Sybase syntax. So for each table there's extracted a tables DDL with all the definitions inside, like default values, foreign key constraints, primary key, and etc. And all this information is represented in SQL, in Oracle SQL, and converted into Sybase and placed into one file for each object. So the whole conversion. So this is the export process. You can see the triggers and packages are converted. And now you can see the import process in the same window, which is actually, usually it is much faster than export, because when doing export we are using ODBC connection, and when doing import our tool uses native tools. So we can review the results by clicking View Export button. We trap into the export directory where we can review the files that were generated. So you can see that the appropriate IOScale and BCP commands are generated for doing the definitions and data loading accordingly. And this is for tables, and for business logic objects they are generated usually only iSQL command for loading the definition into target database. Also, as for DDL, you can see the commanded source and its equivalent for the target database, can compare both of them. You can see the same for other objects like primary keys conversion. As for packages, You can see some conversion of packages here. For this example, I would say that when doing the conversion into Sybase, as it doesn't support packages actually, so our tool separates a package into a set of objects defined inside of it. If you have a function and a stored procedure in a package, we convert them to a create function and create procedure statements for Sybase database. Also, some example of stored procedure conversion. You can see an exception block is used here with SQL code check. So in Sybase there is a error variable that can be used in such cases for controlling the execution of statements inside the business logic objects. Let's see a few more examples. Stored procedure conversion. You can see there are some last day function, two care functions that were successfully converted to our equivalent SWF last day. This is a SQL function that our tool generates automatically, and we've got a separate SQL file for it, which is actually loaded into the target database for maintaining the same logics as an Oracle database. ToCare function is actually the conversion function to a character data type of the date extracted using last day. There are lots of actually examples. Let me show you the SQL function, SQLWays function last day. You can see you can change it if you need it for target database. So because it's in SQL language, you can easily change it for your particular needs. Also, let me show you an example of a trigger maybe. This is an example of the way the trigger that makes next value insert into the table. So usually such triggers are commanded, and in Sybase we provide an identity column for the table that is for which the trigger is created. So it's T for SEQ to ID. Now let's see a few more examples. For example, we got a foreign key conversion here for tables, and etc. Okay, so this is the example of the conversion that is done by SQLWays wizard. You can see that there are generated also report files for the conversion done here. It is provided in HTML format. You can see the status for the export process, if there were any changes inside, so you can see it here as well. As for packages, we have full statistics regarding the number of predefined objects inside the packages and the number of lines of code if these are business logic objects, like procedures or functions, as it is specified here. There's also generated a SQLWays log file that helps you collect the statistics for the conversion as well. As you can see, there's a number of objects extracted from the stored database and the overall statistics regarding the total objects extracted by type, and the overall number of lines of code, number of objects, and other information, number of rows count extracted for the whole database. As for import, we've got a SQLWays IMP log file that contains information about the import process into Sybase database. This is the information that the Sybase server returns to our tool, and it just collects this information into import log file. So you can review it regarding the problems on the import process. So if there's some warnings, for example, like this one, so you can see them. If there are any errors, you can see them as well after the import process ends. Okay, so this is all information about SQLWays wizard. Now let me finish the conversion with SQLWays wizard, and let me show you the conversion using SQLWays Studio and SQLWays Commander. These are tools that work with scripts, so you don't have to provide a connection to the source database, but you need to provide the DDL definitions of the databases, source databases, in one file or in a set of files. As for Studio, it works with, you can see it on your screen, and it works with one script at a time. So you can provide a set of statements in one file here and make the conversion for them from Oracle to Sybase, and just click Run. So all the all the conversion process is can be viewed at the bottom of this page. You can see the raw SQLWays log, and here also you can see that all this tool does is actually calls the SQLWays exec command with the appropriate options, and you can see the source and its equivalent in one window. Also, this tool has a feature that allows you converting just one single script, for example, or a set of scripts specified in highlighted text. So I can convert this one or this one separately and see the result in the target. Okay, as they're actually the same, so you can see not that much has changed here. So this is information about SQLWays Studio. It's quite simple in use. You can see it has intuitive interface. Now let me show you SQLWays Commander. This is a tool that works with scripts, but with multiple scripts. You can convert one script, one large script, or several scripts, or you can just point out some folder and make a conversion of it. You can specify the file mask for files that requires a conversion from this enclosed folder. So, or you can choose just one file or a set of files for the conversion from left to right pane. So it organized a little bit, very much like the SQLWays Studio. You have a source where you need to specify the Oracle for Oracle as a source, target for Sybase, and you got a run command. Just click Run and make a conversion from source to target to a export folder. Click OK. Again, you can see the the conversion status at the bottom of this page, and here you can see again command for SQLWays tool. You can review the conversion by clicking the left, the left file, the right file, and compare the results of the conversion. They're the same as in Studio. So these are the same files, just were copied. Okay, so this is all information I have about our tools for you for now. So as you can see, the conversion process is quite simple using the tools that iSpire system provides. The tools themselves are quite intuitive in interface and they can be highly customized for any particular project. So actually this is the strength of our tools that we can customize it and fit it to any needs of our customers. So thank you very much for your attention. Please don't hesitate to contact us regarding the conversion project that you have at your side, so that we could analyze it and estimate it and help you in doing the conversion process. Have a nice day. Bye.